This presentation offers an overview of some key considerations that play a role in creating an accessible Word document. Topics include document headings, table headers, alt text, links, fonts, contrast, color, and title and language. Document headings. Follow these steps to add headings and give your document a real structure. Use word styles and add headings 1 through 6, with heading 1 representing the largest and most important heading. It is important to begin with heading 1, so apply that heading to the main title of the document. After that, add heading 2 for sections and heading 3 for subsections, and so forth. Move from heading level to heading level in a logical order. When you structure your document with word style headings, you create accurate, informative headings that allow learners to understand document organization. And learners using screen reader software will be able to jump between headings and navigate efficiently. Table headers. Follow these steps to structure your table. First of all, to add a table in Word, choose Insert Table and then add the desired number of columns and rows. Inserting a table prompts Word to add 2 new tabs to the ribbon, Design and Layout. To add a header row, click Design in the Table Tools group. Table Style options will appear on the ribbon to the left. Make sure Header Row is checked. If your table has a header column, make sure that is checked as well. Other options include Total Row. This adds formatting to the table's last row. Last Column. This adds special formatting to the last column. And selecting banded rows or banded columns will apply alternating formatting to rows or columns, depending on which selection was made, making the table easier to read. When you correctly designate table headers in your Word document, you enable screen reader software to organize table information and make sense of cell relationships. Only one table header row and one header column should be in a table. Alt text for images. Follow these steps to add alt text. For the new version of Word, select the image, right-click on it, and then select Edit Alt Text. For older versions of Word, select the image, right-click on it, and select Format Picture. Doing this will prompt Word to present formatting options. Select the icon that represents layout and properties, and then expand alt text. Following these steps for both versions of Word will lead you to a description field. Add your alt text into that field. If an image is decorative and you are working with an older version of Word, simply type the word decorative into the description field. The new version of Word offers a box you can check to designate the image as decorative. Remember that alt text needs to be specific and fully describe the visual in context. Links. Follow these steps to add descriptive text for links. Enter the URL for the link. Select it. Click Insert, Hyperlink. At the top of the Insert Hyperlink pop-up, enter your descriptive text next to the words Text to Display. Click OK. When you enter descriptive text, learners will be able to understand the link's purpose and destination as soon as they see it or hear it. Screen reader software can bring up a list of page links. Therefore, when links are taken out of context and brought together in a list, they need to make sense. Do not use word choices like click here or read more, because when taken out of context, they really have no meaning. Fonts. Do not use fancy fonts. They are often hard to read. Choose simple fonts of average size to make your content easy for learners to read. Typical Word doc font sizes are about 11 or 12 point fonts. Contrast. Contrast is the difference between the value of the foreground color, which is usually your font color, and the background color of the screen. The required contrast ratio for a 12-point font is 4.5 to 1. When your contrast is sufficient, learners can read it with ease. You cannot go wrong with black font and a white background. If you decide to use colors and you wonder if your contrast is sufficient, use a contrast checker. The Web Accessibility in Mind website includes a contrast checker among its resources. Visit webaim.org webpage.org/resources. Color. Do not use color as the only way to convey meaning. If you do, learners with color blindness will not be able to recognize or interpret the meaning. A good example of this would be using red font to convey that certain words or phrases are more important. When you do this, you exclude learners with color blindness from becoming aware of the importance. Accessible approaches include add the word important before your important word or phrase, or apply bold to the word or phrase. Both of these approaches would allow all learners to become aware of important information. Title. Follow these steps to add a title. Select File, Info, and look to the right under Properties. In the field next to the word Title, add your title. Follow these steps to add language. Select File, Options, and then select Language. Click the drop-down arrow next to Add Additional Editing Language and select English from the option list. Then select OK. There are more considerations and additional details about the considerations presented in this overview. Visit webaim.org for more information on creating accessible Word documents.